What's going on, guys? Radio Graffiti here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the disaster that is Joker 2. So the film has flopped officially. It only got about $37 million domestically on its opening weekend. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be, Grace Randolph, a movie mathematician or anything of that sort, but I do know that's very terrible. The box office is so bad it's now in the conversation with Morbius. Joker 2 is in conversation with Morbius. The first $1 billion R-rated film that won Oscars and was loved by many is now in the conversation with one of the worst and most memed movies of the past 5 years. Yikes. So Joker 2, it's flopped at the box office. The budget was like $200 million. I still don't know where that went. You look at the film, and it should be an even lower budget than the first one because the entire movie takes place in just a prison or a courtroom. I don't know how it was even more expensive, but yet here we are. And I want to go over some of the reasons that I think the film has flopped. And I think one of the biggest reasons is because the word of mouth spread like wildfire for people to stay away from this film. I still remember we got our reviews for this film. I even did a video on it. Like over a month ago, people were saying, Joker 2 sucks, and we got a Rotten Tomato score. It was back in like the 60s or so, all the way back then, around 62%. So that itself was a terrible red flag. And then when people actually started seeing the movie, Thursday night, Friday night, they're going to go tell their friends and family, hey, Joker 2 sucks. And then you look on the internet, everyone's like, hey, stay away from this movie. So I think word of mouth definitely had a huge impact on the film's box office. People did not want anyone else to have to suffer through this film. And also, clearly one of the bigger things that had to do with it was when it was first announced and they said, yeah, we're going to make this a musical. I'm sure everybody on Earth was at least confused. Even if you thought, oh, well, it can still be good. You were at least still confused about, why would you make this a musical? You look at the first Joker movie, it's a movie about a mentally ill man who feels abandoned and unseen from society, treated like trash, who eventually rises up to become the Joker. He does a lot of terrible things to get there, but it's the Joker. This is a movie about a villain. You weren't really supposed to root for him, but you're at least supposed to understand where his character is coming from and why he's doing what he's doing. It's not like it's just completely random. And then you want to make the sequel where he's singing with Lady Gaga. And that's basically all Joker 2 is. The movie itself is not very good. It's literally just 2 hours of Joker smoking a cigarette with Lady Gaga as they're singing in prison. The movie literally stops to have musicals. It's like the musicals are an ad break from the movie. It's like you're watching commercials in your actual film, only it's a dance number. It completely breaks up the pacing and tone of the film. I really don't know whose decision it was to make this a musical, but like I said, they need to be blacklisted from Hollywood. I don't really blame Todd Phillips or Joaquin Phoenix. I'm sure they're going to be swimming in money for a long time because of this film. I feel like any of us would have came back on for Joker 2. I know this movie did not need a sequel, but unfortunately studios, they have greed. They're not going to just say, oh, well, the first one made $1 billion, got Joaquin Phoenix an Oscar. Let's just not do a sequel. We care about integrity here in Hollywood. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, oh, we want to make as much money as possible because the first one made over $1 billion. We have to do a sequel, right? And here we are. It's now crashed and burned. But still, I feel like any of us would have signed up for a sequel just to get the huge payday. I'm sure they gave Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips a truckload of money to come back for this. Because I know none of them wanted to do it. So it must have been the money talking. And when the money talks, at a certain point, you have to listen. So I won't say it's their fault, but it's still just unfortunate that Joker now has its legacy ruined with this sequel. They completely ruined Arthur's character. They just treated him like complete trash. I think the only way they could have made Arthur's character even worse is if they made him to be some kind of a racist pedophile. And if they had somebody piss on his corpse after they stabbed him to death in prison. I think that's the only way they could have done his character even more dirty in this film. Which is unfortunate. I don't know why they felt the need to give such a huge middle finger to the audiences who loved Joker 1, but they did. I think all of this, factoring to how terrible the movie is, people just kind of knew. I know I myself was on edge to see this film because, the whole musical thing, and then the reviews are bad, and then, oh, now it's flopping, and everyone's saying it's awful. I think those are like the main factors that got people away from this film. And I know a lot of people didn't really like the first Joker movie as well. For their own reasons, people don't like certain movies. What can you do? But I know some people kind of felt like it was a movie for incels. Whatever that's supposed to mean. I don't know where they get that from. But yeah, some people didn't really like the whole thing with him murdering his mom or murdering other people. I guess they didn't get the hint that it was a movie about a villain. But, what are you going to do? I can't really think of any other factors that would hurt the film outside of the three I already mentioned. People didn't like the previous film. People were on edge to see it because it's a musical. And 3, the terrible reviews. Just a bad word of mouth spreading like wildfire. Everyone's saying, stay away from this movie like the plague. Just don't go see it. And of course, naturally, we live in a time where movies hit digital so early and so quickly that it doesn't even matter if you see a film in theaters or not. But you could say that but you could use that argument for any movie. I don't think that's an argument that applies directly to Joker 2. So yeah, those are my 3 reasons I feel like Joker 2 has flopped at the box office, why it's bombing at the box office. Whatever kind of term you want to use, it's not doing good. Especially for a $200 million budget. Especially when the first one made $1 billion at the box office. The first R-rated movie to ever do it. And the highest grossing rated R movie of all time. Up until recently with Deadpool and Wolverine. So, with that being said, what do you guys think? Is there anything I missed? Please let me know down in the comment section down below. Why do you think Joker 2 is struggling so hard at the box office? Did you actually like Joker 2? Do you think it's overhated? Or do you agree that, yeah, the movie was trash and that it deserves to burn? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And I will see you guys next time.